Think globally and act locally. That phrase was coined by Patrick Geddes in the early 1900s. I didn't understand it when I was young. As I got older, though, I think I figured it out. You see, we can look at the world globally and see all these problems that just seem too overwhelming for us to handle. But we don't just give up on it. We decide, hey, I'll do my small part and I'll act locally. Now, there's a lot of organizations out there that do great work around the world, and I don't have time to get into all of them. But I would like to spend a little bit of time talking about one that's dear to my heart, and that's Habitat for Humanity. You see, Habitat for Humanity is a fantastic organization. And why do I think I can speak on it? I spent more than 14 years dedicating my time to Habitat for Humanity. I had a 9-to-5 job. I was out there every weekend, every Saturday, some Sundays, some Fridays, sometimes in the middle of the week, doing what I can to help out locally. But what is Habitat for Humanity? Who's it for? And finally, what is it that they build? I'm going to answer those questions for you. Habitat for Humanity is a faith-based, not-for-profit, global organization that can be found in more than 70 countries and every state here in the United States. It was founded by a couple, Millard and Linda Fuller, around 1975, when it became a brain trust. In 1976, the first Habitat for Humanity house was ever built, and that was right here in San Antonio. From then, it has grown from that little idea and this couple and a small band of volunteers who acted locally into the global entity that it is today. Who's it for? It is for persons who work but are considered low income, right? So it's for the single mom with 2 kids working a $10 an hour job while she's trying to go to school for herself. And she wants a home, a stable place for her family. It's for the young couple just starting out, their first child on the way. Maybe they only make $10 to $12 an hour. It's for them too. It's for anybody willing to put in the time and energy to better themselves. Because Habitat for Humanity is not a handout. It's a helping hand. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's start with what they do, what they build. It's an understatement to say they build homes. What they build is character and, more importantly, community. You see, if you're accepted in the program, you spend more than 300 hours working with other people who are accepted in the program, building their homes, volunteering your time to help their dream come true. This has 2 benefits to it. One, you're learning how to do something, a new trade skill, literally construction. 2, you get to know your neighbors. And not just know them because you wave at them as you drive by on Saturday afternoon. No, you work with them. You talk with them. You eat with them. You're building their homes with them. You create a community. I've seen it firsthand. I personally led construction on more than 47 homes. And I saw that, sure, some families didn't always get along with other families, but there was never any real animosity. You just got along with other people better. But I did see a lot of community. And when we finish those homes and we dedicate that street and we move those 16 families in, there's a lot of tears. On top of all the hours they put in, the homes aren't free. They're affordable. So Habitat gives you the homes at 0 interest. And because so much of the material is donated and the labor force is volunteer, at the time I last constructed a home there, which was just a couple of years ago, I had to take some time for myself, completed homes ran around $60,000. That $60,000 note on a 30-year mortgage with a 0 interest meant that you were only paying about $450 to $480 a month to own your own home. They weren't posh mansions, but they're definitely decent. They're nice homes, and you're in a community with people you know and understand. So that's what Habitat for Humanity is an organization dedicated to providing homes to low-income families who couldn't otherwise afford it. Who's it for? That lady across the street with the 3 kids struggling to pay $800 a month in rent. And lastly, what do they build? We just talked about it, community. If there's anything you take away from this, I hope is that you understand that you can affect the people around you, and they in turn affect others, and it becomes an infection. And one day, maybe you'll build the next organization that reaches 70 countries and helps around the world.